Jax and Junior Oku Jack. Welcome, and this is Brand Jack. Welcome to yet another edition of Bandit. I'm in a kind of reflective state today. For those of you who attended Invisible Me, you would have heard quite a bit about my journey to becoming who I am today, the personal brand, the person that I am today. And what I tried to do in Invisible Me was to demystify this whole hoo-ha about the personal brand. It's important, but as the millennials like to say, it's not that deep. It's important, it's serious, but the steps to it are not that deep. So I thought I'd add a postscript to some of the things I didn't say that I feel will be of interest to you. In becoming who I am today, I've had to get rid of certain aspects of my character, my personality, that my life experiences had created in me. And one of them was impatience, which was now exacerbated, exaggerated by its bigger brother, anger. I was a type A plus personality. I didn't have time for, if you didn't know anything, I mean, you didn't really have to be in my way. If I needed you to do something, actually, I just wanted trumpeter swans, people who got it and could get it very, very well all the time, because I just wanted to surround myself with people who knew what they were doing. And it took a lesson in humility, for me to start becoming who I am today. Now, what was that lesson about? I was an executive creative director in one of the top advertising agencies today in Nigeria. And it was a hard time because there were a lot of difficult time, I won't say hard time. There were a lot of advertising agencies, but ours was different because we were headed by creative people. My partner was an artist, I was a writer. But at a certain point, I had to deal with the entire creative department, and that is a lot of moving parts. If you've ever handled creative people, you know that you yourself, to handle yourself as a creative is a serious thing. To handle the whole colony, local government area, parish of creatives is a vibe by itself. So I really didn't have too much time for people who didn't get it. So we did have different kinds of people in our creative department. Well, there's this guy who stood out. And they're all special, so just in case you're listening to this, you're special, and your story might come up another day. Well, this guy who came on, let's call him Jack, although that's not his name, but this is a true story. And he was an artist, and he had his own skills, he has his own style. Was a little bit slower than I like. I like to move like, hey, are we doing this? Oh, yeah, let's go, let's do it, it's done. Let's go present it. Let's bring back the spoil. That was my attitude. That push, let's go. And anybody who couldn't deal with the fire of my energy at that time got kind of burnt. So more than a few times I had pushed him like, I don't like this, I can't stand this. And when you're impatient with people, anger comes up. So you get to, when you're sufficiently frustrated, you get to shout. And I must have shouted at him, not must have. I shouted at him a little bit too much, and he resigned. And normally, a resignation, and this is who I was, it's not who I am now, although there's still a part of that. A resignation didn't throw me off balance because I knew we were hot as an agency, and so we could attract new people. But my partner called me and said, there are too many people resigning from your department. What's going on? I said, well, this guy doesn't do this. There were genuine reasons, but he said, because he had a personal relationship with that guy through a family relationship. And he said, this guy came to me and he never raises his voice, but he was unhappy, deeply unhappy about something. I would like the guy to come back. And he gave me his reasons. And my partner was the kind of person who could talk me off the cliff. So when I was listening to him, I was thinking very carefully about what he said, and I said, okay. So I said, what do you want me to do? He said, you only come back if you go talk to him. You go talk to him. I'm like, hey, go talk to him. My staff that's So, in fact, he sacked me. I didn't sack him. I'm like, he said, yeah, Julia, go talk to him. So I set up an appointment. Yeah, by this time, this was within like 3 weeks to a month. By this time, he had found another job, and I set up an appointment. Went, and I went to his place of work. I said to him, "Hey, Jack, how you doing?" I don't even know. I didn't have a plan of how that conversation was going to go. Well, he was very gracious. He welcomed me. I sat down. He was at his drawing table, and I said, "I would like you to come back." He said, "I cannot come back if you're the same person you are." I said, "Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I want to apologize for shouting at you. All the times I shouted at you, I could have just spoken to you and told you how I felt." And he said, "Okay." I said, "I'd like you to come back." And he said, "I don't know if I can come back. Have you changed?" I said, "I don't think I have changed. I couldn't have changed all of a sudden. That's who I am. But I tell you one thing, and you'll help me with this if you decide to come back. If I start shouting, let's have a code word. Or you come to me and tell me you did this and you did that. Can you revise?" And I said, "Okay, I will. And I promise you, I will keep to this." And what that did for me was that it taught me a lot of humility. It taught me the power of sitting back and reflecting, not thinking that you're the hottest thing since sliced bread. If sliced bread is okay, since I gave you bread, that's our thing here in Nigeria. You're not the hottest thing. You can get it wrong on your way to building a personal brand, which is why branding is a process that leads you to becoming who you are. You can't wake up as a fully blown brand. You cannot. There are things that have to come, affect you, and you have to take time to pause, reflect, accept, and try it out. I will tell you for free that apologizing did not come as easily to me as impatience and anger came to me, but I had to learn it. And in learning it, I knew that I still needed the fire of that passion burning inside me, because that was where the creative ideas came from. That was the furnace, that was the crucible of the creativity. But I didn't need to let my fire inside me burn the people around me. I had to first of all warn them, like, am I coming one day and it's fire, so I will give you fair warning. When you see me like that, give me space. I'll come back to you. Or if I burn you, please tell me. I will apologize and I'll make up. And then I won't tell you, I won't sit here and tell you that I don't pop off from time to time. I still pop off, but it's getting fewer times of popping off. And that is the process of becoming. Branding is the process of becoming who you are today. It's a long, slow, steady journey. Sometimes you backtrack and you come back. So that's what I wanted to share with you. You may be at the start of your branding and becoming journey. You may be in the middle, you may be where I am, where it's pretty clear who I am. But wherever you are, I hope these lessons have been useful to you. I hope by being vulnerable, you've learned something from me. Thank you for joining us this episode of Brand Date, and next week we'll come back with something else. Take care and keep shining.